What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Bitcoin Daily. I am Jay, your host for the day. Today is July 29th, 2021, 4:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 85 degrees Fahrenheit here in sunny South Florida. Mostly cloudy. There was actually a storm a little while ago. That knocked out my electricity and my internet. Took a little bit to get back up and running, but we are back. How you guys doing? Who is in the chat? Who's tuned in? Let me know in the chat. Today we're going to be talking Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about this current move that's happening right now. And we're going to talk about the road to get back up to $50,000. What's going on, Marky Mark? Fernando, what's up? JNR Oben, what's going on? How you guys doing? Currently watching the market here, seeing what unfolds. You see, the market's pretty much flat on the day as far as the top coins. Polkadot is up 5%. Bitcoin Cash up 5%. Solana with a nice move today, up 13%. Theta up 5. Luna up 5. Monero up 6.5. Everything else is pretty much around the flat range. Nothing crazy. Dash is up 6. Quant is up 38%. It's almost up 100% in the last 7 days. That's pretty crazy. Thorchain up 30% on the day. I don't want to go too far down. What's up, Hayaku? Vlad? How you guys doing? You can see the fear and greed index is now up to 50, which is neutral. And yesterday was also at 50. Definitely the highest we've been in a while. Probably in like 3 months, right? That's the highest level we've seen since May 12th. May 12th, we were at 68. And then we dropped. And this is the highest we've been since then. Before the massive drop in the market. Let's look at the heat maps for the day. You can see almost everything is pretty much green. Bitcoin is flat. Doge is flat. Link is flat. This is flat. EOS is flat. BCHSV is flat. So yeah, everything's pretty much, we're pretty much flat on the day. Not too much going on today. But we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row of green candles. We haven't seen that in a very long time. Let's see. When's the last time we saw 8 days in a row? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we saw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I'm having a hard time finding the last time we had 8 days in a row of green candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, we hit 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't see. When's the last time we had 7 green days in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, 7. 7 seems to be that number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, so I'm all the way back through 2020. We didn't have not one time that we had that 8 days in a row of green candles. It might be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, 7. There's always 7 and then a red day in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I found it. June 26th, the week of June 19th through June 26th of 2019 was the last time that we had 8 green days in a row. That's pretty crazy. Let me circle it here so I can find it again. So that is pretty crazy. That's June 2019, 2 years ago, is the last time that we had 8 green days in a row. And back then the price was around, okay, so that's when we hit the high for the 2019 year, which was around $13,000 to $14,000. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if today we can close green again, then we're setting up some sort of record. It'll be 9 days in a row. And we're pretty much flat on the day. You'll see that Bitcoin is down 0.4%. So all we need to do is have a move. Let me see. We closed at $40,008 yesterday, this candle. So we need to close today in the next 3.5 hours or so. We have to close above $40,000, $40,008 basically. That will put us for a 9th day in a row, 9th green candle in a row. JNR, it's a possibility. It's still in the cards, but we need a lot of things to go our way, including things out of our control. Like we would definitely need Bitcoin being accepted back by Tesla. And then I believe with that should take us back up. And then if we can also get one of the big companies like Apple or Amazon to either start accepting Bitcoin as payments or crypto as payments in any sort of way, or utilizing it in some way, or buying and adding it to its balance sheet, something like that. I think that's the recipe to get us up to 100,000 by the end of this year. So it's a possibility, but we need Tesla to start accepting Bitcoin again. That'll push prices back up. And then if we can get one of these big companies to either start accepting crypto as payments or buying it, putting it in their balance sheets, something like that, that I think is what would give us that extra boost needed to launch the prices up to, beyond previous all-time highs and up to 100K. So, it's a long shot, but it's still a possibility at this point in time. So we got 28 people in here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the chat that you're in here so I can say what's up. Make sure to smash that like button, guys. Don't forget to to say what's up in the chat as well. All right, so we're gonna jump into a quick analysis here on Bitcoin and how we can get to $50,000. So we've had, like I said before, we've had 8 green days in a row, which hasn't been seen since 2019 in June. What started this move was last week, the B word conference, which was actually very bullish for Bitcoin. That's a day that we had about a 7.5% move up. And then on Sunday, we got the Amazon rumors, which also led to this huge run up here. It's this candle right here on Sunday, which took us to a high of 40,581, basically from $35,000, right? So we did get, on the same day, we did get news from Amazon saying that it's not true. But Bitcoin has kept its momentum and kept its price going up ever since that. So that's definitely good for Bitcoin. It's showing that it's holding here. The main levels that we're looking and that we're watching here is obviously above it is 40,000. And above that is probably Bitcoin's most important number to me, which is around that $42,000 range. And we'll talk about why in a sec here. The levels to the downside that we're watching here, the support here is going to be 38,000, and then back down at this Fibonacci level down here, which is right around that 35,000 range. So those are the main levels here that we're watching throughout the rest of this week and throughout next week, as Bitcoin continues to try to break out of this range up here and continue up to this next range up here. What's up, Meme King? Oliver, what's going on? Make sure to smash the like button. You're confused with Bitcoin? Why are you confused? Pablo, what's going on, man? Future of Ethereum. I'm bullish on Ethereum. No problem, JNR. So yeah, so that's another thing that I'm gonna talk about with Ethereum. What's up, Gary? Nice to see you in here again. So today is the 29th. So tomorrow, remember, tomorrow we have a what do you call it? Options expiration day. Tomorrow's options expiration day is the last Friday of the month. So I'm not sure. I haven't looked up which way options were pointing at for this month. So I'm not sure what to expect for tomorrow. I don't think anything crazy should happen though. What the day that I'm targeting for right now though is August 4th. That's when the upgrade for Ethereum is expected to happen. And that upgrade, if you guys are not familiar with that upgrade, you can check it out. We did a video on this a couple weeks ago. This one right here, Ethereum London hard fork, where we spoke about it and I went over exactly what it is and what it could mean for Bitcoin, the crypto market, and especially for Ethereum. As you guys can see, Ethereum is still pretty much flat, but it is up a little bit more. It's holding up a little bit better than Bitcoin today. So I do expect Ethereum leading up to August 4th to continue up. So I'm definitely expecting some sort of move leading up to August 4th here, where we could potentially break that $2,500 area and get into this range up here. That range is pretty much between $2,500 and $3,000. So I expect to get back in this range that we were back here. And And if we get back into that range, then I'm definitely expecting Bitcoin to kind of follow suit at that point, right? So what that would mean for Bitcoin is to break above 42,000. And I've been speaking about this since we had the crash basically below 42,000. We've been talking about Bitcoin's path, Bitcoin's, recovery, right? And the main level that we have left, the only level we have left to break is this level right here. And as you can see, that's a Fibonacci level, right? So if you look at this Fibonacci level, when we broke below it, which is that $42,000 price range, is when we got this massive drop here. Look at this candle, massive drop from 42 all the way down to 29,000, right? So that was a massive drop there. And then if you go back into history, when we crossed up 42, that's when we got this massive green candle, right? That candle went from a low of $38,000 to $47,000. That was a 19% candle, almost 20% candle. So that's why I keep talking about this $42,000 range. It was a previous all-time high, which is why there's so much interest and so many people trading in that range there. Let me see where the moving averages are according to this. Let me see. So the 200-day, and let me put on the 50-day. So we're above the 50-day already. So the 50-day moving average was down here in line with 35,000. Now the 200,000, the 200-day moving average is up around $45,000. I don't think that's going to hold us back that much. I'm expecting that if we break 42, we would probably rocket right through that. So I'm not too worried about those averages there. Let's see what else. Let's take this out the way. Let's take a look at volume shelves here. If we kind of zoom back out, you'll see that after 42, there's very little volumes here, right? So there's very little open interest after you get above 42. That's why I'm expecting a move up if we get above 42, which is, this is the last line right here where there's a lot of volume. Once we can break above this level, I'm expecting to go at least up to around here. So you can see these volume shelves. These are comparable to these down here, right? So what does that mean? That means that we have basically a straight shot up to $47,000 to $48,000. That's why I'm saying that if we get above 42, I'm expecting a straight shot. It might not be exactly straight, but I'm expecting the price within a few days to be at the top of this range, $48,000 to $50,000, and that's the road to back to $50,000. And if we get above that range, it's only a matter of time before we break above 50 and then just continue upwards. But right now, the big level is this 42. So another thing that you'll notice at the same level is, hold on, I can't pick it here, is this big descending line here. So that falls in line right here with our $42,000 breakout trade that we're looking at. So it's going to be not only a breakout from all these rejections, it'll be a breakout from a previous all-time high. It'll be a breakout from this big descending resistance line here that we created basically at our previous all-time high. So a break above this previous line could lead us to, again, the all-time high. There's something called bump and run. It's called the bump and run reversal pattern, something like that. And basically it would be that this is that a break, it would say that a break above this descending line here would take us back up to a target of where that line started. So you guys could look that up. I'll probably talk a little bit more about it in depth tomorrow on tomorrow's analysis video. But basically, the idea is that this was the line that Bitcoin was kind of on. Then it got bumped, right? And then it's coming back now, back to that line. And then when we break out of it, that's the run part. So it's kind of a bump and run. So the run would be to the upside. And that would end the current pattern, which is why it's a reversal pattern. So so a lot of things that we're watching right now. And that's basically what I believe leads us back. We need a break above this $42,000 range. If we can continue to hold here above 38,000, then we have a shot. But if we cannot break $42,000, then once again, there's a potential in the scenario where this pushes us back down. We might get stuck in something like this and retest these lows down here at 28,000 if we cannot break above it. So that's why it is very important in the coming days, including the weekend. So for the rest of this week, that we get a break above there. Even if we don't get it by this weekend, we still have, I think, by August 4th, because that's kind of the day where we have the upgrade for Ethereum, which is just going to make, I believe, the entire market leading up to that is going to make it bullish. So that day, August 4th, is right around here. And look how it's exactly, the 4th is right here. And that's exactly when the downward resistance and the Fibonacci resistance cross, right? That's exactly where the cross is. So, is that a coincidence? Probably, but it kind of fits the puzzle that we're kind of fits the story, and it fits the puzzle that we're putting together here. So we'll dive deeper into some of these tomorrow. I just wanted to kind of go over what I'm watching right now, what I'm looking at right now, what's going on with the prices, and I'm gonna take a few questions and go from there. So let me catch up here with the chat. What's up, Marco? Well, you have to remember that Bitcoin dominance is always a factor. So dominance in Bitcoin is going up. So there's not going to be, altcoins aren't going to be making huge moves at this time right now. When Bitcoin's recovering, altcoins shouldn't be expected to make humongous moves. Some of them will, but not all of them. Eventually, it'll catch up. Miller time. I know, man. Bro, you guys need to help me out and message message Ben, right? And tell him to get Bitcoin Daily on Around the Blockchain, because I've messaged him multiple times on Instagram, and I can't get a reply from him. So you guys need to help me. You gotta help me get on Around the Blockchain. That would be super fun. What's up, Pedro? How you doing? Pedro, I definitely think so. So Pedro says, for the past 3 weekends, we've had some kind of pump. Do you think we might have another one this weekend? I do think so, and this is the reason why. Because on August 4th, we will be getting the upgrade for Ethereum, which should be bullish, right? So I think that's gonna pump and push up the Ethereum price. And I think it should also be bullish for Bitcoin and push up the overall crypto market. Um, so I think we will get some sort of run up. Also on the 30th, which is tomorrow, the option contracts expire for the month. So that usually takes off some of the selling pressure off of Bitcoin for the beginning of the next month. So those are two different things that I think could lead to another pump up possibly happening this weekend. So I mean, it doesn't mean it will happen, but it's a possibility that we will see another price bounce up. And if we do see a pump, it's going to have to be above this $42,000 range. If we get above 42,000, I'm expecting to see $48,000 to $50,000 in Bitcoin. Gary, you have to message BitBoy. So he's BitBoy on Instagram. You guys have probably seen him before on YouTube. If you search BitBoy, he's one of the biggest crypto YouTubers right now, right? Hold on. What is all this? I just want to go to his channel. He has 1.15 million subscribers, which is insane. So I'm trying to get on the Around the Block live streams that they do. So let me see. So I don't know which ones they are here, but I know they do weekly Around the Block live streams where they bring on multiple streamers and content creators. So I'm trying to get on that. Would love to get on that and to talk Bitcoin. I think I have pretty unique ideas and points of view on certain things. So would love to get on there. So I've been messaging him on Instagram. You know, if you guys just look up the same thing, BitBoy, it'll pop up on Instagram. That's how I've been messaging him. Hasn't been getting through apparently, even though he's shared some of my posts on here, like this one right here. He shared this post. Like if let me see if it shows. No, it doesn't show. But I know that he shared this post here, so he sees me. He sees my post. I've seen him look at my stories, but he hasn't replied to my messages. So I don't know what's up. Hopefully sometime soon I'll be able to get his attention and go on there. That'll be pretty cool. Another question is about the 42K level. It's being hard to pass the 41K level. We might see the same kind of sell pressure in the 42K. Yeah, so the 41, anything above, every time we're above 40K, that whole level between 41 to 42, that's going to be all kind of the same level. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of sell pressure there. But that's why I believe if we break above it, and when we break above it, that's when we're going to see basically a candle like this right here. Just like we had on Sunday and Monday, where it had a huge spike here. I believe that we see something similar once we get above 42. Because if you pull up the basically what I like to call the points of interest here, the volume shelves, you know, how much volume is at has been interchanged at each price level, right? You'll notice that there's a lot of volume all over here, right? So it's been a struggle to break up. But once we get above 42, look at this. Look at this right here. There's almost no volume. So because there's so little volume in these areas up here, it should be a straight shot up, just how it was here. Look at this over here. This was a straight shot up to $48,000, right? So and that's why there's so little volume here, because it was almost a straight shot up, right? So in these levels, once we break above 42, we should see a straight shot up to around 47, 48, all the way up to 50K. That's where, and then if you, once you go down, once you look at what's up here, you'll see that once we get above 50, then we basically have a shot up to about 53. Then that's when a lot of volume comes in at 55. 58 and 60,000 has been a huge rejection area there, all the way. And then the volume starts to drastically drop as we get to the all-time highs. So if we can get above this and above this up here, then we should see the price jump up to new all-time highs at that point. But there's a lot of selling going on in these areas here, which is why it's difficult, for Bitcoin to get past right now. So you see all this this pressure here, a lot of volume. So it's a lot of transactions, both buying and selling. But you'll see here, there's almost nothing, right? So we should just see above 42, a straight shot up to about 47, 48,000. By the way, love the IG autonomous. Wait, autonomous. I was like reading it like a moron. Autonomous drive Tesla ride, checking that BTC price. Yeah, man. I just figured out that you could pop up the web browser while driving, because before I thought you couldn't do it because it doesn't let me use like the YouTube and stuff like that while I'm driving, but it does let me use the web browser while I'm driving. So now every time I jump in the car, I pop up the Bitcoin chart, and I'm literally watching the chart as I'm driving, or as Tesla drives itself. Yeah, it's amazing, man. I love that car. It's crazy where where the world is going with technology. It's insane. Gary, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Gary, which indicator is what? Which indicator are you asking about? What's up, Justin? Thanks for tuning in, man. Let me move that out the way. Where do you see the Fibonacci support levels on the current price? So right now, the range that we're in is between 35,000 up to 42,000. So the Fibonacci support at the current price is at $35,000. The resistance is at 42. If you're asking about the one with the volume shelves, that's the VPVR. This one right here. VPVR. So that pretty much shows you interest at certain price points, like how much buying and selling there was at those prices. So it can help to give you an idea of where there might be like a small gap, that there's not a lot of open interest, where people where there's a lot of volume of buying and selling. So the price could gap up or gap down, because it works in both directions. So if I just pull it back up real quick here, and we look at both the way up, you'll see this gap right here. And if we look at the way down, you'll see there's a similar gap on the downside. So that's why I was saying, below 30,000 is very dangerous, because there's not a lot of volume basically until, look at this gap right here. This is basically a drop from around 30 to $24,000, right? And then this is a drop from 24 back down to 20 to 18,000. So that's why being down here was so dangerous, because we could easily just kind of see a dump off here. But luckily we were able to bounce back up, and now we have a lot of support here holding us up. And we just got to get through this final level. Basically, we're at the last boss before we can get into that next range. So if we get above 42, I definitely see a gap up to around that 48 range. Fernando, I would say if you're looking for a short-term scalp and day trades, the main level where you should have your biggest entry is on a breakout above 42,000. If you're looking for small little scalps, you can scalp basically anytime that the price drops below $40,000. I think that's a pretty good scalp right now. That's a short trade. You'll see that it's been dropping below 40 to like 39 and then back up. So it has to be quick day trades. But it's definitely a nice trade. I'm probably not going to take breakouts above 40 anymore, because just so much going on there. It's very indecisive at that price range right now. So maybe an entry above 41. That's a little risky, but definitely below 40. Like if it goes above 40 and drops back down below 40, you can open a trade on the breakdown below 40. And a breakdown below 38. If we see the price drop below 38,000, you can also take a short trade where the price could potentially go back to like 37, 36, 35 range. So those are basically the trade setups that are kind of there right now. On those you should be using very low risk, 1%. 1% risk of your portfolio and under on those trades. And then above 42 though, if there's a breakout above 42,000, I'm going towards the higher end, probably between 3 to 5% risk on my portfolio on that trade. Justin, yeah, the only difference is that Ethereum right now is very correlated with Bitcoin. So it definitely needs Bitcoin to be moving up as well. So if we see a break above 42, then we should see, theoretically in Ethereum, we should see a break above 25, possibly to 3,000. And then that 3,000 mark there is going to be huge, because we should see a big move up. Let's see if we pull up the same volume indicator here. We'll see here that, on a break above 3,000, there's very, very low volume, right? So even above 25 here, there's still a lot of volume. So there's a lot of buying and selling going on, which could slow down the price. But you'll notice that if we get above 3,000, there's very, very little there, all the way up to until around 3,400 to 3,500, right? And then above 3,500, again, very little resistance there as far as buying and selling, up until around $4,000. And then above 4,000, you'll see that it basically it could run all the way up to 4,400, which was a previous all-time high. So yeah, definitely. That's why I like looking at this. Just to kind of help out to where the price could run to if we got over that certain level there. Oliver, as far as a Wyckoff, we were watching two different Wyckoff scenarios here, right? We're watching the accumulation and the distribution. So this one here would basically be the distribution, but it kind of hasn't played out. So, you know, it might have, the distribution might just be over on this drop right here. That drop right there might have just been, you know, the last phase in it, because look how long it's just kind of been accumulating at this point, right? So this here is accumulation. So what we did is put this accumulation, right, into a Wyckoff accumulation schematic. So if you do that, whoops, this is the same one. So if you put that part there into the Wyckoff accumulation schematic, you'll see that it kind of makes sense, right? You know, it doesn't make 100% sense because it's not by the book. It's never going to be perfect, but it kind of resembles the same pattern where, you know, we have phase A, which is a drop, phase B, which is, you know, some accumulation here. It tests the bottom, it tests the top, and then we have another drop, which is phase C, which is the spring, and that drop is supposed to be lower than the selling climax, which it is, right? So that's why we have this here as phase C. But usually after phase C, it goes into phase D, where basically the price starts to go up. But we went up and then we kind of dropped again. We almost tested the same level that we saw here, which was the spring. So, I mean, I guess that could be considered a double spring, maybe, or unless this was the spring and this was the test here, and then the big bounce up. So now this is starting to definitely resemble that phase D, right? So phase D is basically after the spring and the test, then it just shoots up, right? So this would be the shoots up, then this would be the last test of support right here. As we get back to the resistance here and the accumulation on phase D, once we break out of 42,000, that would be the show of strength, and that would put us into phase E at that point, which would be phase E's when it just takes off back to previous highs, right? So that's currently what we're watching when it comes to the Wyckoff. You know, I'm no longer really tracking the distribution because it's been so long since the drop, and it's just kind of been in an accumulation mode right here. So we've only been tracking the accumulation schematic here, and kind of updating it weekly and so forth. So hopefully that answers that question for you. No problem, Fernando. Pedro, I like ADA. Cardano's been holding up very strong. So I'm invested in ADA. And as you can see here, it's been holding up pretty strong. You know, the thing with altcoins, like all coins right now, they're following Bitcoin. So that's why I'm not really tracking these for the moment, until we get some breakthroughs from Bitcoin. But right now we're at this $1.30 resistance there that's been rejected for like 4 or 5 days in a row now. But you can see that this leads up to basically 150 and beyond if it breaks above that. So yeah, I'm not really following altcoins in the moment as far as analysis goes, because it's kind of pointless. They're all just following Bitcoin right now. Alrighty, guys. So that pretty much covers everything I wanted to touch on today. I think I did the analysis on Bitcoin. I did an analysis on Ethereum. Even did a quick one on Cardano, and just spoke about different scenarios that we could see, and the road to $50,000, which is definitely possible in the next week or so, right? If we can break above this. And then we also did a Q&A section, which I always like to do with you guys as well. So tomorrow I'm going to do basically an analysis on Bitcoin and what to expect for the weekend and what trades I'm going to be looking for short term and long term. Oliver, same thing with DOT, and it's gonna be with all altcoins right now. You know, they're pretty much going to be following Bitcoin. So, you know, that's pretty much all there is to it. There's no point in really looking into, you know, why one jumped and another one didn't. Is none of it's gonna really make sense at this point. Because they're all kind of following Bitcoin. Some of them are going to jump just as Bitcoin jumps. Some of them won't. And it's also because Bitcoin, the Bitcoin dominance is going up. So as Bitcoin dominance goes up, you know, you can expect Bitcoin to dominate the market overall. So altcoins won't move up as much for the moment while that happens. But that's pretty much it, guys. I will hit you guys with another video tomorrow with an analysis and some trade setups for the weekend. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I will see you in tomorrow's video. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to smash the like button on this video. It helps us out a ton, guys. Menth Rens. Like I said before, as far as USDT, they just got out of a case with the U.S. Attorney General. Most of that news coming out right now is FUD. And they're putting out reports on how they're backing up their USDT. So you can look that up. That's all out there. But all right, guys, I will see you guys on the next one. As always, peace and love.